we must talk about why crazy girls are so damn cute or hot. Like, types of anime girls that are cute or hot are either those little innocent fan service girls or the main character's crush, or they're batshit insane. For example, Junko, Yuno, Lucy, and Freai. And all those girls have three things in common. First, they have pink hair. Second, they're psychopaths or sociopaths. And third, they have some sort of power, albeit magical or just being really smart. Let's start with Junko Enoshima. She was born with everything: good looks, big brain, and a loving family. And with her advantages, she quickly became a millionaire. The problem is that everything is very predictable for her. Fashion trends and politics, they're too easy for her. So, you see, a normal person would start a hobby or something to collect. She's like, nah, that's too small and boring. So, she decides to make everyone on Earth fall into despair.
The whole damn world into the depths of despair.
Holy fuck, dude. And to make that dream of hers come true, she manipulates, helps little innocent guy who is really good with animation. And she asks him to make animation that can manipulate people. And you see where I'm going with this. And with a bit of trickery, she makes a whole class to fight to the death to make some douchebag that's really smart look at it and it's like, okay, I'm gonna help you. And the video that made the entire class, plus the dirty secrets of the school that they tried to, keep it a secret, she brainwashed the students that are paid in there to go out in a full-blown riot. And they did break the school. I mean, it was pure chaos. And with that, she makes the entire class 77B into a team of despair-filled machine for genocide. And after this point, things just go deeper. With Junko make every student influenced by the video commit. She turns the world into a living hell. She not only makes her classmates participate in the killing game that she created, but also killed her own twin sister because she wanted to feel even deeper despair of losing someone she loves. And in the end of the game, where she loses obviously, she gets so high of despair that she ends it with a smile on her face. This girl is insane. And to top it off, she pulls a William Afton.
I always come back.
What I'm saying is she's trying to upload her brain into the Quad 77B. The guys who turn into a living calamity. To make it short version, the Hope Division tried to make them normal again, so they put them into a computer simulator. And that one dude that I told you earlier, he's the one who put the chip inside to see who will, Hope or despair. And Hope always wins. And with that, Junko is gone once for all. And yeah, she's a sociopathic killer. And now let's list what she did. If it's any short, I don't know what else to put in it. You would think we can't go lower, right? Right. Now let's talk about Yuno, the most popular pink-hair yandere in all of anime. A girl so crazy that she would do anything for her man. And here's what she done. Spoiler alert. She comes from a different timeline, where she became a god, and the only way she could see Yuki again is to create another timeline and take the spot of herself. So she kills herself and her parents, and with that, she stalks Yuki for a bit. Then after that, she stalks him again after he finds her collection and peeps through the mail hole, which is already third level stalking. Then they find the sixth diary holder, who is a cult leader. And trying to protect both of those guys, she kills a bunch of people. And after, she kills the blind Power Ranger, who is another diary user. And after that shit happened, she's captured by the sixth and then saved by Yuki. And that's all in 2 episodes. Because in the next episode, we see that, she's stalking him. She's basically in his home, living there rent-free. She meets his mother, which is, nice, sweet. And after this, she kills the orphan that the mother's trying to raise for a bit. Which, yeah, the orphan was a diary user, but damn. And after a sweet little date, we go to the police station where all hell broke loose. Because one of the participants is the police chief himself and makes them a fugitive because, well, they kill some people in there and try to harm him, but they escape and goes to the hospital where his son and wife are right now, go there to hide, but they're found out by the nine, who is that crazy bitch. And after a lot of damage to the hospital, the nine escapes and they kill the chief, who by actuality is the craziest person in there. But now we're getting to the juicy part. And they decide to go out for a bit only too. But the problem is that Yuno drugs and kidnaps Yuki into an abandoned building that is full of traps. I mean, soul traps, like. And when the friends of Yuki tried to rescue him, and they did, we see how this crazy woman keeps the skull of her dead parents as a trophy just on two chairs. And oh my god, that was just fucked. And not only that, but she drugged him into such a point that I thought he was a vegetable for a second. And he woke up only after seeing that his friend was about to get killed. And he slapped that bitch, said that, oh, we're done with that hoe. And they go off. But I guess Yuno doesn't take no for an answer. And he goes to this mansion where he should have been protected by all kinds of guardians. And somehow she got him and the next diary users, which are a couple that is pretty and they fight. Our main character loses because power of anime, I guess. And we see Yuki's father is coming back. He got the milk, yay. And he's a piece of shit, just saying it, because first of all, he's tried to get both of those two diaries so that get out of debt because those guys paid him. And after they see with the couple again, the big giant fight that happened that ended up with literal explosion, she takes hostage woman, the girlfriend, is like, if you don't help us, she's going to the afterlife. So they escape, the other two perish, let's just say they perished, and we see a lot of things happening to Yuki. Okay, this guy has quite a lot of daddy and mommy issues right now, and after trying to consult with his father, he gets killed. She goes there. She's like, oh, helping him. But in reality, I think it's just more manipulation and all shit. And after all those shenanigans that happen in between that, we see that her and the big ass lady, the diary user, go to gang on the first one, who is like this super rich Elon Musk type of shit guy. Yeah, it's not happening because they betrayed the fat lady and almost killed every single one of her men. And after this, they followed into this cool ass chase scene where we find that, oh, we found two dead bodies and, the DNA quite resembles that of hers. Isn't it strange that there's another Yuno in here? And that guy doesn't give a fuck about Yuno. He's already mentally fucked up. They go to the building where the first guy is. That bitch Yuno really made everything easier with the whole using guns and katana. But one of those moments that really shook me is when she opened the vault, because that was her family's vault. And she just stands there, watch him, like this genuine smile of, you're about to die, bitch. And she just snipes that motherfucker out. And we end that shit. There's like another one. That's a fat lady. And she's the only one left. And there's a lot of shenanigans. The world is crumbling because God is dead. And they did it. They killed a fat lady and the white-haired guy who is definitely not gay for Yuki. And they go to her house for, the final days where they get a bed. They have it, they have a great night. The last seconds, the last time she's like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm asking you a question that I forgot. And she just almost kills him right on the spot because, she's from a different timeline and everything that happened till then has happened to her. So kind of, in a way, she knows everything. And after he said, we should, end it together, she was like, fuck no. I've did it once, it didn't work, so I will restart the whole universe once again so that I can be with you once again. And this is the third timeline where shit is basically the same, but also weirdly not the same. Because after China's fight with the ninth user who turns out to have god powers because he gave it to her, And Yuki making Yuno be like, oh, I love you, I love you, you don't have to be a bitch about it. She breaks down. She sees that the world has changed quite a fucking lot because her parents are not pieces of shit and anything like it. No, they're kind of good parents actually. And she ends it, she makes herself lose so that he can God, and that's the end. But no, it's fucking not, because there's an over where the third timeline, gets the memory of the previous one, finds Yuki, and live there happily ever after. And let's jump from one tragic story to another with Lucy. And well, she's a subhuman called Dequonius. They're able to use therapy, and she's the only one to infect men's sperm and give birth to more Dequonians. And her story is quite painful, to be honest. Her childhood was literal hell, being bullied, mocked, and being different all in all, with her only friend being a little dog that later the bullies killed right in front of her. No, she snaps. I mean, those guys have dicks to do this to a little girl and her little puppy. Damn, they have no soul. And after this, she's captured and experimented on by a secret government facility where they hit her, and after some kind of a problem happened, she escapes, she kills everybody in there, but somehow, somewhere, she gets hit in the head and gets amnesia. And with this, she gets a split identity disorder, with one side being this little adorable sweet child and the other as unstoppable destructive machine that even others for her own kind cannot defeat. And now for Freai from Redo here, the biggest clown and bitch of them all. Because, she's a princess who uses her power for selfish pleasures. I mean, she drugs the MC, uses him as her toy, and makes him addicted to the drug, which is kind of fucked. But when she resets her memory, she starts like this little sweet, innocent girl, and that's it. I chose those four particular characters because all of them shows quite the same thing, and because two of the characters, Yuno and Lucy or Kaede, have the same thing, traumatic childhood or traumatic life in general, and all kinds of things that would make you really messed up in the head. And on the other side, we have Junko and Freya, both having just your typical, even high-end life, but both being two bitches that I don't know why they decide to make the life of the entire goddamn world or this one person into a living hell. Why? I don't know, because they're two crazy bitches. But that's it. I hope you liked it. If you want, you can go and watch my other two videos. One being the top 10 animes for your friends, and the other is for To Be Hero X. Bye and have a nice day.